live from Seattle. We actually have a sunny day, and I'm going to start the video with where are you from and what are you drinking? Hey everyone. Now, where are you from and what are you drinking? I was trying to figure out, okay, I'm just gonna let that go. Hi everyone, I was just showing that we are actually having a sunny day here in Seattle. Hi from California. Getting started here with our virtual happy hour. Let me get set up. Hi! Let me turn my music off. 1 second. So, welcome everyone. Hi Justin. Hi Texas and so tall. That sounds amazing. Columbus, Ohio. Water, Prosecco, and coffee. So somebody has the Trinity. Mumbai, India. Glenlivet 12 highball. That sounds amazing. I'm a huge fan of highballs. From Dubai and drinking scotch. That sounds awesome. Portugal, living in the Netherlands, drinking some beer. That's great. I am so excited. We've got Canada in the house. Hi from California's in the house. Great. I'm so excited to be here with y'all. So, just one thing to start off. Today, we're going to be making some Prosecco cocktails. So, I just basically turned this into a hi from Fort Worth, Texas, an aperitivo hour, because we're doing all things Northern Italy, including talking about this lovely Prosecco. And I'm going to move my camera a little bit during this. So, today, we are so excited, or I'm so excited to be showing you guys some cocktails with this beautiful Caposaldo Prosecco. Just a couple things about this Prosecco that I learned about, just because I was actually trying to find one that was versatile that I could drink and really like, and then one that was balanced as well for cocktails. So this is out of Northern Italy, the Veneto region. It's a DOC Prosecco, which means that it has a domain control. It's basically, it has a, I wrote this down. Oh, a denomination of controlled origin, which means that Prosecco can only be made in certain regions. So this is made in a region, and that's why it's a DOC, and that's what you want to look for, and it will be on the bottle actually. So another thing that I'm excited about with this is because one of my favorite places to visit is Italy, Northern Italy specific, and if you guys haven't been there, when you go to like Torino and you go to aperitivo hour, you can spend like $10 on a cocktail, and sometimes you have like an unlimited buffet of Italian, essentially tapas and bites that you can just have. So I thought that was really amazing, because here in the US, and I don't know, we have a lot of international people on here. Here in the US, we don't really get snacks with our drinks, so it's very interesting to explore that aspect around the world, and especially go to like an all-you-can-eat aperitivo hour. I just became obsessed with that. So usually the drinks tend to be aperitivo drinks, so your Aperol Spritz, your Negroni, things like that. So I have a couple cocktails. One that is a traditional cocktail from Northern Italy, actually Milan, that I've done a twist on. And then the second one is one of my favorite cocktails that I'm actually topping with this Prosecco. So, comment any ideas that you guys have, any ways that you like to use Prosecco. I would love to make more recipes with this, because this is great. A couple other things. I also like this because it pairs really well with food. It has citrus on the taste as well as fruit like green apples. So we're going to go ahead and pop this bottle. And then I'm going to show you 2 cocktails and 2 snacks. So I'm not this isn't going to be chef hour, but I like entertaining right now. It's not possible, but I'm going to show you some snacks that I make for myself, which later down the road you can make for yourself as well as a group of people that are super easy. So I'm going to go ahead and get this open. I was going to open it before, but that's not before I came online, but I don't think that's very fun. Okay, this is always the best part, right? Popping the bottle. Okay, let's see. I've got my glass all ready to go, so I'm just going to start. My pre-game today is just the way I love, my favorite way drinking Prosecco. I love it in cocktails, but just having a pre-game glass here. This is nice and cold. I love these flutes. They're like the perfect size, and I feel super fancy drinking from them. They're amazing. You can't see the bottom maybe, but they're like long-stemmed flutes. Okay, I'm going to give myself an airport pour here because why not fill that straight up. And here is the bottle again, Caposaldo. So cheers, you guys. Just get my initial thing going. Okay, and I did also want to mention that Caposaldo, this is a Prosecco, but they also have a range of different wines. So I'm excited to try those as well. This is just amazing. So to keep going on that, we are going to start by making the second cocktail, or the second drink. This is my first drink, the second drink of the day, which is going to be, I got obsessed with just topping classic cocktails with bubbly. We're going to do I know, I'm going to get this in the photo so you guys can see the full-on bubbles. A bee's knees topped with this Prosecco. So if you're not familiar with the bee's knees, it is a gin-based cocktail. It has honey and lemon. So, essentially, this is like I realized after I decided to make this cocktail, essentially, hi from Germany, hi. This is essentially a French 75, except instead of simple syrup, we are going to use honey, and instead of champagne, which is traditionally used in a French 75, we are going to use this beautiful Prosecco. So, with that being said, let's get started. And I'm also, to carry on with the Italian theme, I am using a Amalfi gin, which is a Italian gin as well. So, first thing we're going to do is since I'm adding alcohol, topping this with Prosecco, I am going to do 1 ounce of gin, just so it's not overly boozy. If you want to have more than one, you can totally have more than one. I think why I add sparkling wine a lot to cocktails is it really is bright, and it makes it feel light. So find my jigger. We're going to do 1 ounce of this gin right into our shaker. It's the weekend, y'all. And then I'm going to do a 1/2 ounce of my honey simple syrup. And I wanted to talk about this because in different cocktails where it calls for simple syrup, sometimes I like using something that has a little bit more flavor. And honey syrup is definitely something easy to make at home. Right now, with people making a lot more cocktails at home, you can use agave, honey, maple syrup even. So with the honey syrup, some people think about when they're going to put honey in cocktails, they will just, like, this is the regular honey I have. Yeah, it's the weekend. And they would just squirt in the honey. The problem is sometimes the honey's going to stick together, and especially to the ice, it's not going to blend in well with your cocktail. So, Oh, you always use, yeah, it doesn't work well. So I would not do that, but I'm telling you, I made this syrup in 5 minutes. You're gonna do equal parts honey with water. And then you just dissolve the honey into the water. So it's very, very, very easy to do. And we're gonna do a 1/2 ounce of this straight into our shaker. And then the last thing we're gonna do is lemon juice. I'm gonna do 3/4 ounce of lemon juice because I want that citrus to really come out. But again, if you want it more sweet, you can pop up the honey. If you want less acid, you can take down the lemon juice. So let me get my cutting board. We're going to be doing 3/4 ounces of lemon. I mean, you can try any citrus and see if that works. But this is a traditional bee's knees, has lemon juice in it. So I'm going to measure this just so I get the right proportions going on. And usually it'll go straight, and you can usually, let me move some of this stuff over. When you're doing this, usually without making a huge mess, you can squeeze in your lemon juice right into the jigger from one of these citrus squeezers. I got the shaker, and I actually need to clean it. It's a bit tarnished. It's a company out of Texas called Surtado Copper. They make really great, I love this 2-piece shaker. It's been all around the world with me, and it holds up. There's no dents or anything like that. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go ahead and pour in our lemon juice. So with those 3 ingredients, gin, honey syrup, lemon, we are ready to shake our cocktail. And before I get into that, I'm gonna take another sip of this stuff because it's amazing. Okay, oh my God. I mean, this by itself is so good. I love drinking sparkling wine all the time, but this brand, Caposaldo, it is really, really bright, really good. Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna put some ice in here. I'm going to be using a Nick and Nora glass for this, and we're going to go ahead and shake. The weekend. Okay, so then what I'm gonna do, because usually when you're shaking with citrus, you can get some of the citrus chunks into your cocktail. So what I do is I use this strainer, and then I use this like tea strainer just so I can get some of the citrus particles. So it's a double strain right into this without too much trouble. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and top this off with the Caposaldo Prosecco. Right to the brim without going over, I think. So if you guys can see how gorgeous this is, it's a very fresh and bright cocktail with gin. And before I garnish it, I'm going to go ahead and try it to see if I need to make any modifications. Oh my gosh, it's great. A lot of citrus flavors, a little bit subtle of the honey. Taste the gin really marries well with the Prosecco without overwhelming it. I'm going to put a little bit more on here. I definitely recommend this Prosecco Bee's Knees version of this. And what I'm going to do, if you all saw it on my stories, I just did a pretty simple citrus twist, lemon twist for the garnish, just so like when you're drinking it, you can kind of breathe in the aroma of the citrus. So, yeah, I'm not going to be too fussy, but because I'm drinking this from home, but still, like, I want the cocktail to look good. Just because I'm not having friends over, I still want the cocktail to look really good. And I'm going to push this forward so y'all can see those bubbles. So I did a peel, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of the edges. I'm going to cut some of the edges off just so we get a straight line on this citrus peel garnish. And then, let's see, I will show you. This is, I just cut the, I think the Caposaldo people are on here. Sorry, I got disconnected for a second. I think that the Caposaldo people are on here and they can tell you if it's available in Virginia, or you can DM me after this and let me know. I put in, as far as the honey syrup, I put in a 1/2 ounce, 3/4 ounce of lemon, and 1 ounce of gin. If you want more honey flavor and less citrus profile, you can definitely do equal parts of the honey syrup and the lemon juice, 3/4 honey. It just depends on how strong your honey flavor is. Like, this is a raw wildflower honey, so they make a lot of different ones now, so you'll just have to kind of test it out. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to, if you can see that, get that citrus oils going over the top of this, just so we'll be able to have that aroma. Okay, somebody joined late. We just did a bubbly bee's knees with this Caposaldo Prosecco. So essentially, I made a bee's knees cocktail, cut down the booze a little bit, and topped it with bubbles. So yeah. So I'm gonna twist this up, and I'm gonna use a, yeah, I would try this with grapefruit. Honey and grapefruit are really good together, and the fruity citrus flavors of this Prosecco, I think grapefruit would be awesome. I would definitely use grapefruit. I'm going to pin this on. So, there we go. I know some people don't like closed pins citrus or clothespin garnishes. I really like them, but if you wanted to, you can just drop the lemon peel right into the glass. Yes, they can send you a link to where you can locate, where you can pick up this Prosecco through the US. Yes, and I'm just making sure I answered everything. Yes, I am actually going to try this drink with grapefruit. Y'all have inspired me because it sounds amazing. I mean, I'm just so impressed at how this Prosecco really goes so well with this cocktail. I mean, it's perfectly balanced. And obviously, when you're thinking about topping cocktails off with sparkling wine, if you want to do a traditional French 75, stuff like that, you do want to use a sparkling wine that tastes good solo. So, you know, you don't want to like get something that's overly sweet, or I don't like overly sweet, but you could, or something that's just not gonna, that doesn't taste good on its own. You really want to get a Prosecco that tastes really good, and they say that a lot of times with wine. If you're cooking with wine, you want to use something that you would drink. So here's our first cocktail, y'all. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be a blend of a bee's knees and fizz. I mean, when I created this cocktail, I went off just the bee's knees classic recipe, but yeah, I mean, it's similar to a gin fizz as well. Okay, with that being said, let me check the time. Okay, so now, between now and my next drink, I am going to prepare a little snack, because in Italy, like I was saying, I visited Torino, which is in northern Italy, close to where this is made. And they, like I said, they do the aperitivo hour, so I kind of wanted to show you guys some aperitivo snacks, because this Prosecco specifically pairs really good with food. So, first up, I'm going to show you a very basic, semi-homemade recipe. And before that, somebody said, if you have, Little Lane, who's joining us from Australia, said if you have a sweet sparkling to use, you can just drop the sugar in. Yes, you can just drop the sugar in the cocktail so you can use less of the honey syrup. Which grape does the Prosecco have? So, yeah. So somebody already answered it. This one is actually 85% Gilera, and I definitely did not pronounce that correctly, but it's Glera, and that's the grape that they use to make this Prosecco. And I also wanted to say, when I was reading about this specific Prosecco, they use 20-year-old vines, and they actually hand pick the grapes for this. So that is just amazing. So our appetizer is going to consist of some olives. So I don't know if you guys like olives, but I'm going with this really easy Italian theme. So we've got some green olives here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can take just some regular old olives that you might have in your cabinet or refrigerator and take them up a notch. So what we're going to do is prepare kind of a marinade vinaigrette to just take these to the next level, so you have a actual super snack, I would like to call it, a super snack. So we have our bowl of olives. What we're going to do here, let me clear this space, is we're going to essentially make a vinaigrette. So we're going to take the lemon that I just used. Oh, you guys like olives, great. I'm going to take the lemon that I just used and going to go ahead and juice one lemon into this bowl. And y'all, I know how to make cocktails, and I try to, make snacks that look as good as the cocktails, but I'm definitely not a chef. I'm a not homemaker, but I'm a home cook. So we're going to do our lemon juice. Then I'm going to take 1 clove of garlic, fresh garlic, and I'm going to peel that garlic, and then I'm going to chop it up pretty finely here. So just kind of in chunks like this. Okay, so our garlic will go down into our bowl with our lemon juice. This is kind of hard to see, but then I'm going just to take some random herbs that I have. So I have rosemary, so I'm going to take a little sprig of rosemary, and I'm just going to chop that up. I mean, this is like a really simple situation happening over here. So just rough chop the rosemary, that's going to go in. Then I'm going to take some salt, I've got some Himalayan sea salt here, and then I'm going to take some fresh ground pepper. I'm glad you guys are liking this. This is a healthy snack. And then I'm going to take our Italian olive oil and go ahead and pour this in. Okay, so essentially this is going to be like a modified vinaigrette, and then I'm going to take a fork and kind of whisk it together because I don't actually have a whisk. So if you wanted to make a vinaigrette like this for a salad or anything, you could. You could just take whatever herbs you have, salt, pepper, and I'm just going to put a little on my hand. Taste it. Just needs a little bit more salt. I mean, the olive oil is just good by itself. This is very odd, but I have to show you guys how to make the snack. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have the olives, and I would, don't forget to drink while you're cooking. That's the part of this. You pop a bottle of Prosecco. So essentially, what I would do with these is I would actually marinate these in the vinaigrette for an hour before people come over or before, you're going to eat it. So I'll show you. This is what the vinaigrette looks like. It's hard to see. Anyway, I'm going to pour it into the bowl of olives. And that's it. So here we got our vinaigrette with the garlic and the lemon juice, salt, pepper, rosemary. Just mix up the olives and they will marinate in this really great vinaigrette. And I mean, this is just taking some olives that you might have laying around and taking it up next level. So that's my first aperitivo snack. And you know, in Italy, a lot of times they are serving olives. They also serve potato chips. They also serve all different kinds of appetizers. So it's really like, what do you have at home? And this, you know, this is something I do a lot. I think it's a great way just to take olives up a notch and marinate them. So there is our snack. I'm going to try one. Oh my God. So good. I tried one before I made this marinade and it doesn't even compare. I might have a cooking blog after this. Just kidding. Oh my gosh, yum. It pairs really well with the Prosecco. So that is my first aperitivo snack that I have going on for y'all. Let me see if if I put that up there, I have a little bit more space. So we have our appetizer. So after the bee's knees, and I just wanted to say, for people asking for the recipe, the recipes that I'm making right now are already on my blog, which is www.beautifulbooze.com, and you will see where it says Caposaldo recipes, and you can just click on that. Ooh, you got a Campari spritz. That's amazing. You can click on that and you can see the recipes, but I'm also going to be sharing the recipes on Instagram stories after this, so you can just take like a screenshot of that story to get these recipes. So one more sip of this and we're on to the next one. So my next cocktail is inspired by the Negroni Spagliato. If you guys know about that, it is a drink that originated in Milan, and Spagliato means messed up. So essentially, there's a story about this bar in Milan that the bartender was making a Negroni. So he was making a Negroni, which is 1 ounce Campari, 1 ounce sweet vermouth, and 1 ounce gin. And apparently he either ran out of gin or he grabbed the wrong bottle and left out the gin and used Prosecco, sparkling wine, instead of the gin. So, a classic messed up or wrong Negroni is called the Negroni Spagliato. Hi, from Seattle. We're in the same place. Yeah, Americano is a great cocktail as well. So, I actually went to this bar in Milan. It's called Bar Basso. It is really great. I highly recommend after this is all over, and if you ever take a trip to Milan, Bar Basso is where you can get the drink, the Negroni Spagliato, and that's where it originated. Today, I am doing a cocktail that I was inspired by that. I like the recipe, but for some people that know me and have been following me for a long time, I like sweet vermouth, but it's not my favorite. So, my version today of the Negroni Spagliato is going to have a blanc vermouth instead of a sweet vermouth. It's going to have an Italian bitter, Aperol, instead of the Campari. But the reason that I mention all these versions is because if you have Campari at home and sweet vermouth and Prosecco, you can make the Negroni Spagliato. But if you have Aperol, you can sub it in for the Campari, and you can do sweet vermouth, or you can sub in the Blanc for the sweet vermouth. So there's so many variations. It just depends on what you really like, and I'm going to show you what I really like and my variation that I like to make often. So this specific drink is great to drink in the summer. And actually, for this, what I was going to say is, this is an Italian bitter that's like Aperol. I couldn't source Aperol, so it's the exact same thing, but most people know Aperol, but you can put in any bitter that you prefer and mix this up, and it will come out really great. Suze is available, I think. I like Suze and all of that stuff, but I'm not that familiar with making cocktails with it, so if you have a recipe, send it my way. So, essentially, this is Aperol. Like I said, when I went into the liquor store the other day, they did not have Aperol, but they had everything bitter, and this is a local one that is like Aperol. So, same. So, what I like about this cocktail as well is that you can just make it in the glass. So, it's easy. You're not shaking anything. You're not stirring anything. We're just going to go ahead and make it in this glass. So, for the Suze, oh, he was going for a white Negroni. Yeah. I've had one of those before. I haven't actually made them, but yeah, if you want to do a white Negroni, you can do, I think, Suze, white vermouth, and gin. Yeah, so that's something really cool. So, to get started on this, I'm going to do, and you can change up the proportions. This is just what I like. I really love Blanc Vermouth, so I'm going to do 1 ounce of the Blanc or dry Vermouth. I'm going to do a 1/2 ounce of our Aperol / bitter. If you want to use Campari, that's good. I've done a lot of drinks with dry Vermouth as well. With Campari and Aperol, I switch in between it. And then we're going to top it off spritz-wise with our Caposaldo Prosecco. And just to tell y'all, this is a drink, or a similar drink like this is what you would get at a traditional aperitivo hour in Italy. So that's why I'm going with this. And we have a question. We can make white Sbagliato with Suze and dry Vermouth and Riesling blend and top it with Prosecco. Yeah, of course. You could definitely do that. That would be really cool. I've never thought about that. That's awesome. Yeah. And then Tempus Fugit is great for subbing for Vermouth. Yeah. No, I think there's so many combinations. I'm just saying, you can see how easy it is here to make, and then you can replicate it based on what you have. Like, that's what I'm using, what I have, and then, yeah, mimosa drink, like, this is so good. It's not overpowering, super balanced, very fresh, bright. This would be great for mimosas. This would be great. And I would be making a mimosa if I wasn't focused on aperitivo hour. So, here we go. What we're going to do first is put in the ice. So, just going to go put in a large ice chunk in there. Next, we're going to do an ounce of our Blanc Vermouth, or whatever vermouth that you want to do. Yeah, we're spritzing it up in here. If you have bubbles, you have Prosecco, you've got to make an Italian spritz. So we'll go ahead and get this going. There's our Blanc Vermouth. Then we're going to do a 1/2 ounce of bitter. So if you want to do Suze, you want to do Aperol, you want to do Campari, you want to do a local bitter, whatever you like, go ahead and do that. And that's going to go straight there. It's going to give us a kind of citrus bitter flavor. So that's what that does. So now is the fun part. We're going to top it off with our Caposaldo Prosecco. And this is really all it takes. Look at that. Look at those bubbles. Yeah, you guys have all the ingredients. May we know the specialty of the Blanc Vermouth? I'm using a French Blanc Vermouth. white vermouth or vermouth blanc. That's what I'm using. But obviously, if you want to go full on Italian, you can. There's a lot of different brands of vermouths in Italy. So, you know, in my recipe, I'm saying, I think I said 4 ounces of Prosecco. I love this Prosecco so much, I'm filling it to I'm topping it off because I think that's about 4 ounces. It might be more. But, yeah. So you can measure it out, but I did that when I was recipe testing. It's kind of annoying to measure out bubbles in a jigger. So after that, just so we get all of our flavors married, I'm just going to take a mixing spoon and stir this up. And once again, before I garnish, I'm going to taste it and make sure that it's on point flavor-wise. I mean, look at the color. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my God. Bitter, citrus, bright flavors coming from this Prosecco. So good to use in cocktails. Ciao! Orange juice Prosecco mimosa drinks. Yes. And I would definitely be doing some brunch vibes with this if I didn't already want to do an aperitivo hour. So with this, I have a lot of these. These are really seasonal in the store right now. They're essentially mandarin oranges that you can peel. I have a lot of these, so I'm going to use this as the garnish. 1 second, I've got to get another cutting board because I cut this with garlic and I do not want my garnish to taste like garlic. Quick, just get a little plate here. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and cut some orange slices or mandarin slices, or you can do, again, whatever garnish you want to do for this. Oops. I'm still getting the vibes in here of this apartment is new, like I just moved in, so I'm trying to figure out where I put everything. Okay, I would garnish with orange. Yep, that's what I'm going to be doing here. I'm going to cut a slice of orange, cut this in half. So what I'm going to do here is, this mandarin is such a rich, bright color, so we're going to put that into the drink to give us those orange vibes. And then I'm going to put one on the side, if I can make one look good enough to put on the side. Here we go. Just go ahead and put a little orange slice on the side. Super simple. Get the citrus vibes. You also, when you put this here on the side, you get those citrus aromas, which is really great when you're drinking this drink. Oh, so our Seattle person is live not too far from Pike Place Market. That's awesome. I am about 2 blocks from Pike Place Market. I'm on Western Avenue, which is two blocks from the water, actually. So it's really nice. So this is great. Yum. So you get the bitter, you know, it's dried out with the blanc vermouth. But you know, if you have sweet vermouth, you can go for that. And do the same thing. You can do Campari, you can do whatever bitter, and then the Prosecco. This is great. So cheers to our second cocktail. I mean, aperitivo hour is the best, am I right? So, with that being said, let me check the time. Okay, we still have enough time to make my second aperitivo hour snack. So, and this pairs really well with the olives as well. Chin chin. Oh yeah, super great. So, next up, I'm gonna do a little twist on a caprese salad. Yeah. So Italicus and Prosecco would be amazing. This with Italicus would be great. Milan just uses Campari and sweet vermouth. Americano tops that off with soda water, and the Spagliato tops that with sparkling wine. Yes. So just to go ahead and if you're trying to put these into categories of classic cocktails, yes, this is just one that I made up that I enjoy because, again, I like that Blanc vermouth. So I'm running out of space. I have too many cocktails. So what we're going to do is a take on the caprese salad, which is mozzarella, tomato, and basil. So I'm going to do a little appetizer snack that's based on that. So here we go. We have some mozzarella balls. If you guys have seen these before, you can get them at most markets, or if you don't have the mozzarella balls, you can just use like sliced mozzarella. We have some cherry tomatoes, which I'm going to half in just a second, and then we have some, instead of fresh basil, I am using a pesto. So what we're going to do really quick is chop up our tomatoes. To get my cutting board back. So I just have regular cherry tomatoes, but you can use regular tomatoes and just chop them up. Essentially what I'm doing is halving these in size, just so when we mix everything together, the centers and the tomato, the insides, will also be kind of marinated. So yeah, I'm doing some, I don't know if this is classic Italian. This is just something that I've done. Like, I've definitely made the traditional, like, caprese salad, like slices of tomatoes, slices of mozzarella, with fresh basil when it's growing in the summer. I mean, here in Seattle, we're still in 40 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that equates to in Celsius, but it's still quite cold here, so I don't, you know, you can get basil in the store, but it's not necessarily growing in people's gardens yet. I mean, yeah, you can use canned tomatoes if you want to, might as well. So essentially, I'm cutting these up, and you could also use the same kind of thing and make like a bruschetta if you wanted to put this on bread. So we're almost done here, and this is like, these are like super simple. I'm telling you, I'm not like a, I'll move this so you can see. I'm not like a top chef or anything. Tomato and mozzarella is named caprese. Yeah, I'm probably saying that with a horrible accent, but you get the point. Oop, there went one of my tomatoes. Okay, so as you can see, we've just chopped up some of our cherry tomatoes. Yeah, best if you can find buffalo mozzarella, like that would be really great. So we're still working on those olives. I'm going to take these tomatoes, put them right in here to get going. I'm just going to slice up the mozzarella just a little bit, just in half pieces like this. Let's get that going in there. I saw also at the grocery store they have like pearl-sized mozzarella balls, which would be ideal for this. But again, a lot of us are not leaving our house. So, you know, feel free to use what you have. So I'm just going to chop these up. Here we go. We've got our mozzarella, our tomatoes, and this is all I'm doing. Like, I made a pesto. Obviously, you can store-buy it, but what I've done is I put some really nice, the Italian cold-pressed olive oil that I used in the olives. So that's going to go in here. We're going to go ahead and put all of this basil, pine nut, parmesan, olive oil goodness right in here. And essentially, you're just going to, it's like that pesto is essentially a salad dressing. You're just going to mix everything up. And those tomatoes are going to get marinated. The mozzarella is going to get marinated in here. So essentially, you can scoop this. You see, this is like basically a caprese salad, but it's more intense. You can scoop this onto a baguette to make bruschetta, or you can just eat it straight out of this bowl. So yeah, if I was entertaining other people, obviously I would put this on a baguette, but it's just me, myself, and I, so I'm going to try it just straight from the bowl. So good. So we have somebody saying, did you just say pesto is a salad dressing? Are you for real? No. I know that pesto is not a salad dressing. What I said is I'm pouring the pesto and mixing this up like I would a salad dressing. I definitely am not saying that pesto at all is a salad dressing. So, you know, instead of using the fresh basil for my caprese salad, I just used a pesto. So there we go. Straight from the bowl. Gonna try it and see how the Prosecco marries with this. Oh wow. So it's really great. So this is my kind of shortcut aperitivo hour. Hey, best drink ever. Anybody else have any more questions before we go? Okay, just landed here, sorry. Yes. So obviously, I've been to Italy a bunch of times. I don't think pesto is a salad dressing. I'm just kind of creating some recipes food-wise from what I have here in my house. Taking the olives next level by using a vinaigrette and let them marinate it. And they're getting very good. The more you let them marinate, the better they get. And then just doing kind of a caprese salad with pesto and letting the tomatoes and the mozzarella marinate. And if you want to thin out the pesto, you can put some more olive oil in there. I mean, the consistency is great to put on a baguette for a bruschetta. So I definitely do that if I had friends coming over, and I might do that for dinner actually. But I think these two things are very simple that you could sit out on a table if you were having friends over and you wanted to create your own aperitivo hour at home. Where can we find this recipe? So the food recipes I do not have on my blog, but I will put them on Instagram stories. We've got our spritz recipe. This is already on my blog, and the recipe will go on Instagram stories. Just to recap, our bubbly Prosecco bee's knees. This is on the blog. This recipe, it will also go into stories. And if you want to learn about where you can find the Caposaldo Prosecco, they have a retail locator. I will get that link and also put it in stories just so you'll can get a close-up of this bottle, Caposaldo Prosecco. Like I said earlier, I'm going to top this off. This is a great Prosecco to drink as well as make cocktails. It's very versatile. It's very balanced. The flavors are citrus heavy, green apple, very bright and light, so it really intensifies and balances your cocktails. It doesn't overwhelm the ingredients. It's worked well, you know, topping off a classic bee's knees as well as a traditional Italian spritz recipes is very versatile to work in many applications. So with that being said, if we don't have any more questions, I just wanted to say thanks to Caposaldo Prosecco for letting me come on and talk about their amazing product. Thanks for everybody who joined. It's Saturday. Happy weekend. Our next virtual live, as I'm doing them Tuesday through Saturday, 5:30 Eastern, will be actually on my birthday on Tuesday. So I do lives, virtual happy hours every day of the week. except Sunday and Monday. And then when you see me again on Tuesday, I will be 1 year older. So just mark your calendar. We will be having a birthday celebration here. So thanks for everything. Yes, you can ask another question. Coming up. And again, if you guys have more questions about the Prosecco, the food, the drinks, any cocktails, anything you want to see here at the virtual happy hours, you can DM me. Is the question coming? Hey, Danu. We have some people on here from France. Oh, this was fun and love the cocktail, thanks. Yeah, so if you think of any more questions, you can go ahead and DM me. Yeah, I'll let you know what cocktail. I mean, just go ahead. Oh, thank you. Caposaldo is on here. Happy early birthday. Yes, I am celebrating now, solo. But it's great because, look, I already have my food ready to go for my own personal early celebration. Have you posted the cocktail? Yes. So if you go to my blog, www.beautifulbooze.com, you will see the recipe for both the spritz as well as the Prosecco Bee's Knees. If you look at my stories right after this, I'm going to post, give me like 30 minutes. I'm going to post the recipes on stories. You can screenshot the recipes, and I will also do a swipe up on my stories where you'll be able to swipe up to my blog and find the recipes. So great, Drunken Fruit, I'm so glad that you joined us again. Definitely gonna try the Prosecco, that's great. Hey Tara, she's coming in from Charlotte. Cheers, that's my cousin. Thanks for everybody joining. I'm super excited to see y'all again on Tuesday. And for the recipes, do you mention the name, please? This is Caposaldo. That's the name of the Prosecco. You can see a better photo of it right now on my stories, but here you go. This is what the label looks like. They also have a website. I will do a swipe up to their website so you can see the other wines that they have within this entire line, but Caposaldo, this is it. Caposaldo Prosecco. So if you're looking to try to find that, they have a retail locator that you'll be able to use to find where you'll be able to buy this Prosecco. Definitely recommend it. Again, it's great just by itself, drinking it as well as, I mean, one of the most perfect sparklings that I've had to use in cocktails. So yeah, thank you guys for coming. I will see you at our next virtual happy hour, 5:30 Eastern time. You can also, to get up to the date information on Caposaldo, I failed to mention that they're also on Instagram. So even though they have a website, you can also go follow them on Instagram and you can see the Prosecco and you can follow them for updates they may have. So with that being said, you can see me again 5:30 Eastern time, New York time on Tuesday. We will be having a birthday celebration. Yes, 5:30 Eastern time, which is New York time. So that's the time, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 5:30 Tuesday to Saturday. So I will be taking 2 days off from the lives, and you will see me again for my birthday celebration on Tuesday. But if you follow my stories, I give up to the date information on everything. So just follow Beautiful Booze, follow Caposaldo Prosecco on Instagram, and I will see y'all on Tuesday. Thank you so much. Bye y'all. Have a good weekend.